Hello, my friend.
Hello. Nice to meet
How are
you,
you
Abram.
feeling?
Feeling quite well today. It's an honor to
Good.
speak with you.
Thank you, my friend. And I share in that honor to be with you also. So how would you like to begin?
So, Abram, I'd like to begin something I'm asked often since I guess I've gone down the path of seeking spiritual knowledge and the path of awakening. Something I'm asked often, and something I identify with is I'm often asked about my star origin, my star system origin, etc. Is that something that you might be able to pick up on and me, any energy?
If I were to ask you, what is your true origin? What would you tell me?
I would go back to the one, the cosmic consciousness, the creator. That would be my true origin. That's my belief.
People always want to know, where am I from? Am I from Pleiades? Am I from Orion? Where am I from? To hear that your origin is from the one is refreshing to me. People don't get that. They have to have a place to be from, a physical place in the universe to be from.
Okay.
So I tell them your physical origin is Orion, yes, or Pleiades, yes, or elsewhere. But to hear you say that your origin is from the one, from consciousness, this is how it is for everyone. Everyone is from consciousness because everyone is consciousness. And the one is basically the universe, the one idea. I call it the one idea, the universe. And everything comes from the one idea, and everyone comes from the one idea. So we all, physical and non-physical alike, come from the one idea. We are all made of what is found in the universe, which is energy. People have to have a tight hold on physical things. Where am I from? What am I all about? And things like that. So to tell someone that their origin is from the one, from consciousness, that would, in a sense, confuse them. Because, as I said, they have to have something physical to hold on to, because they are physical in this reality that you call physical reality, which is what I call the illusion.
Like a label of sorts.
People label and categorize everything.
Of course.
And they complicate everything. So people need to just take a breath, step back, and simplify everything in their life. And when they do that, they will then discover that they are nothing more than energy. And people ask all the time, how can I become more spiritual? How can I create the best reality for me that I would like to create for myself and for my family and my friends and everyone else involved? I tell them, stop trying to be spiritual and understand that you are spiritual just as you are right now. And stop trying to create the best reality, because all you are doing is you are trying to push things into place to create a reality that you think you want. And most of the time, it will be the reality that you really do not want. Because when you try to push things into place, you try to force things. And when you force things, you try to control things. And when you control things, everything gets out of control. So I tell people, just keep it simple.
Always identify with that. I've always identified with that. When I just let go, when I feel, I identify it as almost like a wormhole effect, sort of, where if I just let go and go with the flow of energy, the flow of the water slide, and just let go and stop trying to grab on to the metaphorical bars that might be inside this water slide I'm talking about. As soon as I stop trying to hold on to things and just go with the flow is when things go the best for me. It's refreshing to hear you say that.
And I tell people to go with the flow. To go with the flow means to just be. And they say, well, be what? And I say, no, not what, just be. Well, how can I just be? If I just be, then I have nothing. Exactly. Because when you have nothing, you have everything. Every opportunity to do what you really desire to do. To be how you really desire to be, without forcing things into place. Keep things simple. Do not complicate things with labels and categories and everything else that you can imagine. Just keep everything simple.
100%. Now, something that really brought me into, and of course, everything's always developing, everything's growing all the time. A few years back, I had a rather abrupt awakening. My mother got really sick. Yeah, I left my 3D job. I just felt a really strong pull, an urge to use something to help the collective, use my time for something greater than sales or in what I was doing, nothing for the greater good, just playing a role in middle America. And something that really pushed me over the edge was I've always been a meditator. I'm a pretty practiced meditator. What pushed me into another state of, I guess, ready to be awake and ready to see, was something that's been, labeled by humans. You may have heard of the CE5 protocols, initiating contact with extraterrestrial beings.
Yes.
Is that
yes.
something that you are familiar with? Is that something
Yes.
that you could expound upon? What do you think? Is it safe to do? Something I've always wondered.
It is safe to do. But if you want to connect with aliens, and let us assume that you do connect with aliens, what would be the purpose of that?
So it's more connect with other entities, other dimensional beings to obtain knowledge, just to see, feel, to my limited five senses, and that sixth sense that we all have, and I guess some are more in tune to than others. It's just another way to experience this timeline that I'm living in right now as Avatar Tyler. When I CE5, it's just another form of meditation where I go deeper and I'm seeking a contact with, I guess, not necessarily aliens, just other beings, other entities who may be closer, not in proximity physically, but in understanding maybe to source than myself.
All right. But let me say that you don't need any rituals to do that, because you can use your dream state.
So are you referring to like astral travel or just...
When you get ready to enter sleep, give yourself a suggestion that you would like to either find your way into another dimension to meet with beings, or simply just meet with beings who are available to you. Everyone on your planet Earth has beings that are available to them. And those beings are with you people for much and most of your life, but you don't see them. You don't feel them. They are in the background. Connecting with aliens or other beings from other dimensions usually begins in the dream state and evolves from there. So suggest to yourself that you have the opportunity in your sleep time to create a dream in which you will find yourself in another dimension of your present reality, and you are able to associate yourself with those beings of or in those dimensions of reality. This is a good, safe way to do it, my friend.
Creating and kind of like tuning into their radio station, so to speak, something along that line, rather than trying to just talk to aliens. They don't sound as a little surface level.
Everyone wants to connect with an alien. Everyone.
Boy, right. Who wouldn't?
Aliens have become very popular to the point where people deny themselves the right to find their own glory. Let me put it that way.
So maybe seeking contact with other dimensionals, extraterrestrials, etc., might have a little too much emphasis placed on it, and seeking inward amongst ourselves might be a little more valuable than trying to contact with, say, an extraterrestrial.
Exactly.
Which I say having that experience within self is infinitely more powerful than maybe, because I have actually had CE5, experiences where I've had contact. They've not been intimate, like hanging out in my room, hugging me and playing games contact. There's been both a conscious feeling and a physical response, using the protocols over the past couple of years. Yeah, my main question was, one, how, like, you answered it perfectly. I guess I personally realized from what you just said that I've been placing a little too much emphasis on that rather than seeking inward, which is what I've always done with meditation anyway. I guess
Everyone does, my friend. Not just you. Everyone places too much emphasis on it. Well, I really want to talk with an alien being. What are you going to ask the alien? Hello, how are you? What do you eat for breakfast? Can you help me to become like you? What are you going to talk with an alien about? Talk with yourself.
talk with
How
myself.
would you like to be? How would you like your state of spirituality to be or become? How would you like your purpose in being alive to be and to give you the right to express yourself in ways that you can just imagine? Too
So
much
I'm living.
emphasis, yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So I'm living in a bit of a. I've dove in to a change. I lived a very typical life for quite some years, where 9 to 5 job, house, decent salary, etc. I left that life a couple years ago. I'm diving into starting this podcast. I'm recording music again. I'm spending a lot more time meditating, focusing a lot on building my community. I don't sell anything at the moment. I'm not interested in that. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm really trying to focus my efforts on being a part of ushering in the new era of humanity, the new era of what some people refer to as the new earth. And I just felt such a strong pull towards that so many things have happened to me in the past few years. Like I said, I quit my job, which everybody was astounded that I did. I've dove into the spiritual community, which I know is a label, but I've connected with some really great people. And of course, I've had a lot of, dark nights of the soul, etc. Why me? Why this? Why that? During the whole transition. But what I've landed on is starting, I've made some connections with some people who I feel like have some really valuable experience to share. And I think that starting the podcast that I've been talking about is a good plan. I have a lot of faith in the idea. Does that sound like I'm on the right path to you? That I have good intentions? Are my intentions in the right place?
Stop talking. Stop talking. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel you are on the right path now? Yes or no? Just yes or no.
Yes.
Then you are on the right path. Yes.
Yes, I 100% feel so.
Many times people want direction in their life. And I tell them, seek direction in you. People talk about 5D Earth, 10D Earth, 155D Earth, and things are happening. You cannot stop this. Everyone is going to become new. Then people are going to graduate up to 5D and 10D. I tell people, forget about 5D Earth, forget about all of that, and focus on who, what, and why you are. Because there will never be a change unless you change within yourself. Then things change for you.
Starts with
You don't suddenly magically have a change because the sun shot out a solar flare. That does nothing for you. Change begins within. Then you see the outer change. I tell people also, please take care of your planet Earth. Too many people have been reading it, taking advantage of it, and your Earth is angry. It is speaking back to you in the way of storms, more heavy-duty storms, volcanoes, earthquakes, and all the rest. And there will be more of that, and more of that, more storms, harder storms, more earthquakes, until people wake up and take care. Your Earth is it gives you everything you need. Why do you take advantage of it? This is what I tell people. You don't have to do that. Plant a tree, plant a bush, plant a tree, plant a bush, plant some flowers, take care of the grass, walk in nature, get to know the energy of nature, because that is the real God. People talk about God. You can have your God. My God is nature. Because nature is all about balance and cooperation. Balance and cooperation.
So Mother Earth, Mother Gaia you'd say is angry at the moment.
Yes.
Lashing out. That'd be fair to say, yes?
Yes.
And it's almost like you telepathically pulled that, because I actually have that written down as a question I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if Mother Earth was angry, and if so, what can we do to, kind of soothe her? But you had just listed a dozen things right there. So you pulled that right out of me. That's incredible.
Yes.
Abram.
Also, let me add to that. People don't understand that your planet Earth is a living being. It has its own emotions. And when its emotions change, you people are affected by that, and your emotions change. Now, why would I say that? Let me tell you why I say that. Because you people are of the Earth, and the Earth is of you people. Your energy is the same as your planet Earth. Its energy is the same as yours. Your emotions are the same, and your Earth's emotions are the same as yours. When your Earth gets to the point at which it has had it, which it has already gotten to, you will find more illness, brand new illness taking place, harder illness. You talk about pandemics and all the rest, there will be more pandemics, absolutely. And there will be more viruses that will be very hard to take care of, because viruses are living things. And eventually, when people start taking care of the Earth, all of those things will calm down.
So would you say that the first step to people taking care of the Earth would be to first recognize themselves, seek themselves, and at least have an understanding, a base understanding of who they are at source? Or should people just go out and start, helping Mother Earth, start cleaning up, planting trees? Or would you say it really
Stop talking.
Requires
thank you. Stop talking. Thank you. The first thing I would suggest to people is just take a walk out in nature. Touch a tree. Feel the energy of the tree. Hug the tree. Let the tree give you energy. Listen to the tree, because all of nature is alive. It is always communicating with you people, and within and with each other as well. Trees communicate with each other through their roots. Trees know what they are doing. If two trees are growing too close together, they will grow as one tree. Balance and cooperation. This is what nature is, and nature is my God. Walk in nature. Get to feel the energy of nature. This is how you can start. Then from that point on, yes, plant the tree. Take care of your earth. Plant flowers, plant a bush. Just walk in nature. Have a nice walk in nature a few times every week, a few times, and spend time with nature, because that is what your planet Earth is all about. When your planet Earth gets angry, you can see some of nature dying away.
And it's unfortunate that we have to, I guess, push her to that point. So you're saying there is something that we can do about it, though.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And, it's interesting. That led me into something a little more personal that I wanted to ask. My mother recently passed away about 6 weeks ago. She was terminally ill for quite some time and doing well, but things took a drastic turn, and she passed rather suddenly back in April. I am in tune with the spirit. I meditate. I do take my daily walks in nature and everything like that, but I try to stay humble. I try not to talk about spiritual development in regard to myself, more in regard to just helping one another in the collective. But what I wanted to ask was, I'm seeing signs, which, for example, just little things. Somebody will ask me they'll call me up and tell me, your mom's with you right now, so take a look. I promise you'll see a monarch butterfly, or just something like that. I'm just playing an example out of the air. Is there a chance that, say, a soul that I was that close with my whole in this lifetime is still here showing me signs a couple months post leaving this incarnation?
Yes. Now, understand, your mother is doing just fine. She is acclimating herself to her new life, her new surroundings, her new reality. If you would like to communicate with your mother, then you talk to Tom, because he had some advice for you.
Okay. Thank you, Abram. And happy to know that you said that she's okay. Because I believe in the concept of the soul, of course. I don't believe that she's, I believe her soul is somewhere. I just looking for a little confirmation that the signs I'm seeing might actually be her. But they're very synchronous, so.
You need to understand that the soul is not only in one place, it is pretty much everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere. Yeah, of course. In the form of fractals, etc. Is that, or is it more in regards to the concept of oneness that we touched on before?
Yes.
I've always thought of it like the hologram effect, and that's what I believe is, if you were to shatter a 4x4 piece of a hologram, every little piece of that hologram would contain the entire hologram, and
absolutely,
that's what source kind of needs to be. And I'm really just going down this deeper, path of opening myself up to, I guess knowledge is a word, but knowledge just seems like a little bit of a hungry human word. It's more just innate knowing, and closer to oneness with spirit is what I'm seeking, which a lot would call the ascension. And that's opened me to new paths of seeking knowledge, etc. Speaking to Abram versus Tom, things like that I may have not been open to 5-10 years ago that I am open to now. And it's such a freeing way of living. But of course, there are still those attachments. There's always going to be attachments, and I'm just always further doing what I can to further develop. I know you're Abram. I appreciate you speaking to me through Tom right now. Something I'm curious about is everybody have the ability to channel an entity, or is that something that's reserved for certain people, certain souls?
Everyone has all abilities and all talents. However, true mediums, true authentic channels are born that way. Too many people are saying that they are channels, they are mediums, and they are not. They think they are, but they are not. Now, I also tell people, if you want knowledge, then be in the experience of yourself. Be the experience. Then you will gain all the knowledge that you would like to have.
Experiences.
So, yes. How do you feel, my friend? Our time has come to a close. How are you feeling?
I feel well, Abram, and I
Keep
think
it that way.
I shall.
I enjoyed being with you. This has been fun for me, my friend. I love you. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Abram. I love your essence. I love your being. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate Tom for channeling, for being there.